This car has not been cleaned in over 5 months. As you can see, it is absolutely filthy, not only with baked on road grime, but also brake dust all over the wheels. It's got bug splatters absolutely everywhere, and not to mention, after a recent trip to the Nürburgring over in Germany, it has also managed to pick up some discarded rubber of somebody's tyre on my front bumper. And this stands to be a really tough test, because on this video I'm going to be reviewing the new V3 foam cannon from MJJC, and I'm also going to be putting their snow foam through its paces as well to see if this combination can get this car clean. So to start with, let's take a good look at this snow foam cannon. The first thing you're going to notice, of course, is this bottle is clear. Now that's basically something I really like. The reason I like it so much is because when I'm using my other snow foam Lances, what you tend to find is, even though they've got the measurements down the side just like this has, of course, because it's usually opaque or not clear, you cannot quite see how much product you have actually got inside your bottle at all times. So I really do like that. The other thing to note is it just feels really well built. I'm massively impressed with the build quality. Everything just feels like nice and tight, and just really nice plastics, and nothing seems to be cheap or nasty. It feels really good product. Now, a couple of things you will notice, and again, one of my main features that I really like, is on my previous foam cannons, when I'm trying to obviously take the top off to fill the bottle with product, it takes absolutely ages spinning the top to get it off. There's so many threads, but with this you do not get any of that, because quite simply all you need to do is grab the top, and it only takes half a turn for that to detach from the bottle, and I really genuinely like that. Not to mention, one thing is you will notice is just how large that opening is on the actual bottle itself. Basically, other snow foam Lances, they've got a really narrow neck, and it takes absolutely forever to fill it up or balance it under the tap just to make sure all the water or product is going into the neck. But with this being so much larger, I really like that. Now, one feature I really like is the attention to detail. Not only have we got a chemical resistant silicone hose, what we also have is this ball down at the bottom, and what that ensures is the fact that this points downwards all the time. No curvy straws or anything like that, basically meaning that when this sits in the bottom of your bottle, it's always going to pick up all of the product. And then this is how easy it is just to get the top back on. All we need to do is feed that in, slot it on, and then once again push it down just half a turn, and then that is ready for some product. Now, everything about this does feel really high quality. This knob here doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. Okay, everything feels really nice and strong plastic as well. So overall, I'm really impressed with the quality. Not to mention, when it does actually come to the bottle, I thought it might be quite soft plastic, but no, I mean, it's taken like a lot. And it feels really strong and sturdy, so definitely good build quality. Now, I do have a Karcher pressure washer, so of course this is the right connection for that K-series Karcher, but of course you can buy this foam cannon from MJJC with any particular connection that you have for the pressure washer that you own. Of course, if you do have one of these guns, you can of course buy it with that attachment accordingly. So that's really nice that you've got all of those options there. So when it comes to price, this is not particularly cheap, but it is really good quality. This is $89 US at the time of recording this video, and I will leave some links in the video description so you can go and check out all the products that I'm checking out and reviewing in this video. So it's all well and good talking about how good I think the product is, and we need to put it into practice and get some snow foam in this cannon and go test it out, trying to get this car behind me as clean as humanly possible. Now, I am going to be using the MJJC Snow foam to match up with the MJJC cannon, so hopefully at the ratio of 1:9, this is going to be a really nice solution and get our car as clean as possible. So without further ado, let's get cleaning. Now, this cleaning process certainly differs depending on the snow foam with which you are using. Some manufacturers, such as Built Hamber for example, say that you should snow foam directly onto a dirty car. Now, looking at the bottle from MJJC, they require the car to be rinsed off just to get rid of any loose dust or dirt or sand, etc. Now, generally, why I'm not a huge fan of this is because what generally happens is if you rinse the car first, you just introduce a layer of water water that gets absorbed by the dirt on your car, and generally what it does is just reduce the cleaning properties or the cleaning potential of the Snow Foam product. However, of course, because we are reviewing this product from MJJC, they have suggested that we should rinse the car first to get the bulk of the dirt off, so that's exactly what we are going to do. Now, even though we have actually rinsed the car off, you can see, because the car was that dirty to begin with, it's not really made that much of a difference. The car is still absolutely filthy, and more than enough to test the Snow Foam from MJJC. As you can see, most of it is still absolutely filthy and not actually lifted whatsoever. We still have absolutely tons of bug splatters. We still have that rubber picked up at the Nürburgring on the car. So still enough on the car to put the Snow Foam to the test. Now, as I've just mentioned, because we've just jet washed the car, we've now introduced a layer of water into the dirt, which basically may degrade the cleaning performance of the Snow Foam. Now, whilst MJJC do not suggest that you do this, what I'm going to do is just leave the car to dry for a brief moment while we go fill up with Snow Foam product in our Snow Foam lance. Then we'll come back to it and hopefully give the Snow Foam a slightly better chance of getting this car really, really clean.
A few moments later.
Now, I've just filled up the snow cannon with this Snow Foam, and it does sit on the bottle. It's a refreshing aroma, but if I'm honest with you, smelling it, I mean, I suppose it's refreshing. I cannot quite explain the smell. It does smell a bit chemically, not particularly overly refreshing, but either way, it's not how it smells, it's how it performs. So let's get it on the car and see how well it comes on. So while we're leaving the car to dwell, a couple of things I feel I have to mention that are my immediate thoughts. Firstly, look how much product I've still got in my Snow Foam cannon. Yes, of course, it is a really small car, but I've been over the full car twice, okay, and I still have 300 millilitres of product left in my bottle, so that's really impressive. Secondly, I have never known a Snow Foam go on quite as thick, but not only thick, as nice and even. I mean, look at that, it's just clinging to the car. I've never had that. That has just foamed absolutely beautifully. As you can see, it's not even really dripping off, it's just gently clinging to the car, cleaning my car and dissolving all of that road grime. So really, really impressive. And like I say, I'm really impressed with just how little product that has just actually used. I've got tons left, and I could, of course, just kept going. So normally with a Snow Foam, as you will know, what you will do is then you will just leave it to dwell and then rinse it off. But with this Snow Foam, if we take a look at the instructions on the back, it is slightly different. I'm not entirely sure how comfortable I feel doing this, but essentially what they now tell us to do is grab a mitt, soak it in Snow Foam from our cannon, and then gently wipe over the surface of the car, almost like using the Snow Foam as a cleaning agent. But since this is a review, I better follow the instructions so you know exactly what to expect should you try this product. So now we've agitated the Snow Foam on the panel just like they told us to. Not overly comfortable, as I've already mentioned. With that, we're effectively just scrubbing the dirt on the car, but maybe this is why they told us to rinse the car first, who knows. But I've now got the jet wash, let's rinse it off and see what the outcome is. So now that's all rinsed off, let's take a good look around the car and see how clean it's got it. Of course, there was a degree of contact because the instructions did tell us to go around gently with a sponge or a pad or mitt or whatever, but ultimately I do think the car has come up really, really well. So first of all, the first thing to notice is, of course, that rubber that we picked up at the neighbour ring is still there, but of course that was always going to be a really tough ask. Pretty much most of the bug splatters have been removed. There's a couple that remains, but of course we've not done a full contact wash yet, so of course if we just gently rub, you can see it is coming off. Yes, I've got bug on my finger now, but ultimately, you know, we need to test this. Of course, little areas like this, as you can see, running slightly dark, but as you can see, it has lifted that dirt. Coming down the side of the car to the wheels, again, hopefully you can see this, but that is pretty clean. There's no real dirty water coming onto my fingers. Of course, again, these are always going to need a proper wash, but ultimately I think that's done an absolutely fantastic job so far. Here you can see we have got some slight marks in the dirt where you can see we have had that contact where the you know, dirt been a little bit more tough, but as you can see, just gently touching it, it is just soft. Nothing that really should scratch your paint there, so you know, not too much to grumble about there. Coming around the back of the car, which is always really, really dirty, once again, you know, it doesn't look too bad at all. Of course, all this dirt on the exhaust tips is always going to need a contact wash. Try to stay away from them and the wheels really, because obviously they're the most dirty parts. But overall, I think that's done a pretty good job on the car, to be honest. So let's just wrap up, get myself back in front of the camera for a little bit of a summary. So what do I think to these two products then? Well, when it comes to the MJJC Foam, it has to be said it did an absolutely fantastic job when it came to cleaning. Now, the more I think about it, it seems to me that rather than this being a foam, as you can see there, it says a Snow Foam shampoo, and it almost feels like this is designed to be a product all in one. The idea behind you apply using a Snow Foam gun and then gently agitate and essentially wash the car using this product. Obviously that's slightly different to what us detailers usually do or know what to do, but it seems that's a solution from MJJC. Am I completely comfortable with the fact that we're doing a contact with this Snow Foam? Not hugely, but it can't be denied that the results we've received were pretty good, so who's to argue? Now when it comes to this guy, the Snow Foam lance, it has to be said this is by far the best lance I have ever used. It feels incredibly well built. I love that they've thought of this, that the fact that this is a quick release, it takes seconds to come off. Everything feels really well built, and like I said in the intro, I just love the fact that this is weighted, so we're going to get all of our product picked up from the bottom of the bottle. I just basically like everything about it. It has to be said, it's really nice. Love the fact it's clear, and most importantly, which is obviously the whole point of this, the way that it delivers the Snow Foam onto the panel, I think is better than anything I've ever used before. It was such a nice clean application. It has to be said, it was absolutely fantastic, and I would highly recommend this Canon. So that wraps up this video. Of course, I will leave a link to all the products I have used in this video in the video description, so you can go check them out for yourself. If you do have any comments, please do let me know in the section below as well. I'm always interested to hear what you think. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. See you again soon.